to my cafe, my pet info cafe. Pour yourself a warm cup of your favorite, hold a furry friend in your lap, and let's chat about our love of guinea pigs. I am your host, Jennifer Eileen, and I am so delighted to present our topic today, CAVY caretakers. Let's hear from our guests, the CAVY caretaker Mari Shirley, as well as Talia Chopsky and Corinne Strawby with the Loudoun County Animal Service, and welcome our very special pet guests, our guinea pigs. So hello everyone. Thank you. I am so excited. This has been so exciting to learn about guinea pigs. Have not had one as a pet. I think we had a pet hamster as a child, but I think the first thing to find out about is why are they called guinea pigs? Because they're not pigs.
That's true. They're really not. They're not pigs, and it's always been a bit of a mystery to me as well why they're called guinea pigs. And it turns out that no one quite knows. It's quite a mystery of why there's a couple theories out there of why it's called guinea pigs. Although for the pig portion, the Latin phrase for guinea pig has it's rooted from there. But the Guinea is also, it's a bit of a mystery, actually. But they're not pigs. They're they're rodents. And so they're mostly, most closely related to hamsters and to pigs. Although they do kind of have the body of, like a little, like a pig, the neck, the little face. And they're quite messy,
oh.
as you guys know.
Okay, I see. And so as a pet, they're not a starter pet. They're actually a very sensitive and complicated creature. Tell me about what it's like being a caretaker.
Yes, I think many have the misconception that they're an easy pet to have. Parents would want to have a guinea pig as like a starter pet for their kids before getting a dog or something that they think would require more attention. But actually they require a lot of care, a lot of attention, just like any pet would. And it's a lot of cleaning. They want to have a nice clean area, just like any one of us would. So it's everyday kind of cleaning, everyday care. So it is not something that is should be taken, lightheartedly to decide to adopt and care for a guinea pig. They also live for, up to 8 years. Mine are actually 7 years old, so they're elderly guinea pigs. And they're still active, they still require even more care now that they're older. So it's not a starter pet, if anything is.
And also really they should be adopted in pairs because they're social, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So they are a very social species, and they really do best in pairs or even larger groups. It's pretty common for them to do well in herds. So some people who get really into it will adopt 3 or more and have just a big space where they can hang out together.
That's great. Well, to that point, they do need a big space, not just a little cage, and they want to have room to roam, and their habitat should be comfortable that way.
Yep, and a lot of the cages that you get at the pet store are actually too small. So it's something that you do want to kind of do your research. There are cages that you can build so that they're the appropriate size. And if you're getting one from the pet store, you want to get at least the biggest one that they have and make sure that that is big enough, because 8 square feet for 2 is usually the minimum recommendation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, about that. Well, to that point, then, Corinne, you are a behaviorist. And I understand that your own guinea pigs are very active and even do agility.
They do, yes. Because not all guinea pigs love to be held and everything. And so I also have some older guinea pigs, and so they're not the biggest fans of being picked up and held. And I'm an animal trainer as well as behavior specialist at the shelter. And so I started training them, and they were very excited about it. And so I started teaching them agility. And so they do lots of tricks. They go over jumps and through hoops and through tunnels and spin around and fun things like that.
Oh, that's fun. Now, I understand too that they do a little popcorn dance when they're happy. Is that what you call it?
Yes. I was very surprised when I first had my guinea pigs. They were younger and they would popcorn. Anytime I cleaned their cage, they would popcorn.
Yeah, but if you bring out the good snacks, you tend to see popcorning then as well.
Okay. Do we have any of those?
Now, actually, that my guinea pigs are older, I have haven't seen them popcorn in
Oh,
quite a little
yes,
bit.
yeah.
When they were younger, though, it would
When they were
be a
younger.
nice
Well,
snack. They would
yeah.
popcorn.
But it really does look like popcorn popping because
Yeah.
they just kind of spring into the air.
It can definitely be surprising the first time you see it.
Yes.
that is really truly fun. So in terms of adoption, how long have you had your guinea pigs? And first of all, Mari's the reason we have this show. I interviewed her about rabbits and rabbits eating a vegetarian diet because Mari does a show here on vegan cooking. And so we're here because of Mari. So thank you for that.
Yes, yes, thank you for this episode.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with other guinea pig, experts and lovers.
Yeah.
So I adopted my guinea pigs around 7 years ago now, because they're about to turn 8, I believe. So it's been a while now, and when I was in 6th grade, my teacher had we had pets in each class, and there was a special program that they did, and my teacher was like the coordinator, and she had guinea pigs for our class. So all of us students took care of the guinea pigs, and I was one of like the leaders of taking care of the guinea pigs' daily routines. So that's kind of how I, as an adult, decided to go back and adopt a guinea pig of my own. First I had Fisher, he's 3 colors, tricolor guinea pig.
Pretty.
And he was very shy. He's still very shy, but he was bonded with Allegro, who I adopted in Maryland. They have a guinea pig just for guinea pigs, an adoption for just guinea pigs. They had a little date. It was very cute because they do have to bond well together. And they did, and they've been together ever since. So I think that's 6 years they've been together.
That's lovely. They just look very cozy and yes, very indeed friendly.
Yeah, they're kind of scared right now, it seems like, or they like huddling together.
Yeah, and Talia, the shelter just took in several guinea pigs. That's how I ended up contacting you. I saw on Facebook, and this little one is from that rescue.
Yeah, so we received a call from one of the jurisdictions close to us, so not in Loudoun County, but close by. They had received a case where a home had been found with quite a lot of animals. Over 60 animals were in the home, and they were removing the animals. The county shelter there is quite small, and they actually don't have any housing for small animals, so they called us to see if we could help.
Wow.
Of course, we had to say yes. How could we not? We were very fortunate to have this space. We were able to set up some temporary housing, and we took in all those guinea pigs almost like 2 hours later. I think after the first phone call, they arrived at our door. So we were really happy to be able to help and just get those little piggies into some better conditions and on the road to adoption and recovery. So
sweet. And you have Corinne here to guide you. And so tell us about this little guy and the rest of them. What are we doing? Tell us the best thing for them.
Yeah, so this is Gonki. She is. We've been so lucky. We've been so lucky because the community really has stepped up when we kind of posted that on Facebook, and we have these guinea pigs who need help, and people who have been thinking about guinea pigs. A lot of them did come to us, and so Gonki is one of the last ones, and she kind of ended up as solo for a bit. So our hope is that she gets to go to a home where they are looking to join her with a friend, because she did come from a place with other guinea pigs, and so that's what she wants to go back to. And so it's something that during our adoptions counseling, we can talk people through that process of how do you get them together, because usually you want to start them in cages next to each other, let them kind of sniff each other through. Like Mari said, kind of have a little bit of a date, but also their own space to walk away when they need. And most of the time, they're very quick to make friends. And so if you kind of give them that time and a little bit of patience, then pretty soon they are cuddling together, and then they can live together all the time.
So they do like that contact with one another.
Yes.
Now, what about human contact? I mean, I have cats and I can't keep them off of me. So what's it like having a guinea pig as a pet?
Yeah, so they are prey animals, kind of as a species, and so being picked up too suddenly is very scary for them, and that's kind of the biggest thing to know about handling them, right? And so you just need to think of it to make sure that they feel secure and safe as you're holding them. It does take time to get them used to being held, and so you start with short periods where you hold them kind of nice and securely against yourself. Give them nice snacks. You can hand feed them snacks, really yummy, pieces of fruit and veggie or lettuce is one of my guinea pigs' favorite things, honestly. And so even just hand feeding them gets them used to the idea that you come with good things. You're not scary. You're not a bird that's about to swoop off and take them to the nest to eat them. So that nice secure hold and slow relationship building. And some guinea pigs very much do like being held after a while, and some really never do. So it's just part of who they are as a pet.
Yeah, they're all individuals. That's to that point. Now, so Mari, in the case of feeding, let's talk about diet and they're herbivores strictly. And I notice we have, is this hay or straw?
Hay.
This is hay.
Yes.
Okay, so hay is a good part of the diet. What
hay
else?
Should be the majority of their diet.
Okay.
Unlimited amount of hay. So always have hay in their area. And then they have pellet food, which is, for example, like this, and they love to snack on this. When they were younger, it was definitely more of a monitor how much they're having, because my guinea pig Fisher loved it, so he would just be munching on it a lot and wasn't eating the hay, so I had to really monitor how much he's eating. But now that they're older, their appetite is a little bit decreased, so I just let them eat as much as they want now, because they're just not eating as much as when they were younger. And then, of course, fresh veggies. Mine love lettuce. They love curly parsley. I don't know if it's a texture or something, but they really like that. And then sometimes a little snack, little pieces of tomato, a little, slice of carrot, they enjoy. But hay is really the majority of their diet. It's going to be really good for their digestion, and a good quality hay is also important.
Well, that's a good question. How do you know good quality hay? How do you determine that?
Yeah, so the hay that's designed for small animals is the best stuff to get. So, they make hay for horses as well, and it tends to be just different types of cutting of the hay. So if you get your hay from a pet store for small animals, then that tends to be like a good quality hay. The type of hay that adult guinea pigs should mostly be eating is called Timothy hay. So there actually are different types of hay. And you can give them different types of hay for kind of to mix it up as enrichment for fun. But Timothy hay, like Mari said, is the best for kind of their regular digestion. And so that is the main part of their diet.
Oh, okay. And I read that they need vitamin C pellets?
Yes, that's true. I have vitamin C in a liquid format, which I get from their vet. And it's just regular vitamin C, but it's just in a bottle where I can put a little syringe, and they love it. It's like a sweet, so they love this vitamin. I give them 1 milliliter, and just every day actually I just give them, and they love it. So it's like a little treat for them, but it's really essential because they can't make their own vitamin C, unlike rabbits, which can, but guinea pigs cannot. So that's something when I first adopted them, didn't know. And I took a vet to ask me, are you giving them vitamin C? And I was just like, what do you mean? I thought they made their own. I didn't know. So that's really important for their overall health.
Yeah, and they do sell vitamin C in cookie form too, like in little hard treats.
Okay.
So that's what mine did. They don't like the liquid as much. But the little cookie, and it tastes good. And you can even supplement, give them part of their vitamin C through bell pepper. So that's something that they can have every day, like your green pepper, your orange pepper. But yeah, making sure that they do have a source of vitamin C every single day is quite an important part of the diet.
Well, and how much do we just leave hay out for them all day long, or they just know how much to eat? They don't get that?
Yeah, this is why I said they're not starter pets, because it's every day you're putting hay, every day you're making sure it's still eatable hay. I know one of my likes burying it and just living in it. And so they're not gonna eat that anymore. So always every day I'll put fresh hay, remove the ones that are soiled. So it's, if I go away a weekend, I'll need someone to, see them.
Okay. Well, I also read in this you have here that we have pads. So, cats have litter, dogs we take for a walk. How do we take care of their cage and that part of cleaning?
Yeah, so it's they're not litter. They tend to pee and poo mostly where they eat and where they sleep. So if you kind of put extra padding in those areas, so a lot of times there's kind of a hay area in their enclosure or like their favorite hidey spots, you kind of make sure that there is an extra kind of blanket or bedding to soak up the mess. And then again, it's daily cleaning. Yep.
Okay.
So you do need to make sure that they have a nice, clean, dry area to walk on, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, even just standing on kind of a moist surface can be bad for their feet, like it is for any animals.
Sure.
And so that is, again, another reason they're not quite as much of a starter pet as some people think, is every day, actually, you are spending a little bit of time cleaning the entire enclosure, making sure that it's nice and comfy, changing out those pads and bedding as when they get wet or when they get dirty.
Yeah.
And I think so much of that, we mentioned them being starter pets and people coming kind of thinking they're a great thing for their kids and going to the pet store and just buying the kit off the shelf. I think if you can get the enclosure right, if you can give them enough space, if you can have it set up in a way that gives them the hidey spaces, the hay spaces, the enrichment space, you're setting yourself up for more success because it'll be easier to maintain because they do need daily maintenance and daily cleaning and daily care. So if you get all that right from the start, you're going to have a much more successful and fun experience.
Oh, that's really a good point. And I know you mentioned, you were telling me a little bit about the rescue situation. It was not like that at all.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those piggies were living outside, and I think we had 7 of them living per cage, which is way too close quarters. They were quite small cages. So,
well, thank you for taking them in and making sure they get a better life. That's a big part of what your shelter does. Thank you for doing that. And to the point of the hidey places, and to the point that they're prey animals, they have eyes on the side of their head. They probably are startled by large noises, or what? They're easy to startle.
They are, and if they have the proper kind of setup where they can run into their little hide, what you'll see is that often they're very curious too. So it's one of the things that makes them such fun pets. That they do get startled and then they run away and they hide, and then a minute later you see them kind of start poking their heads back up. So like having a nice home, like a lot of your pets, like you want them to feel secure, right? So that if something does startle them, it's easy for them to kind of recover from that quickly. And so they're not as shy as you might think from what we've been saying about them being prey animals, because they do have those really fun personalities in them too.
Something that always amazes me, and my favorite part of my day at the shelter, is when I open the door to the guinea pig room in the mornings. It's quite a loud noise because it's a pretty heavy door, but the piggies that live in there have learned that means I'm bringing fresh veggies or fresh hay, and they start making these happy little weak noises.
Oh my.
So it's a situation where you have kind of a loud, startling noise, right? This heavy door opening, but all the guinea pigs come popping out of their hides and they're making these happy noises at me because they know it means snacks are on their way, and that is just one of the best parts of my day for sure. They're so cute when they make those noises.
Yeah, they get used to you. Like in my case, whenever I got out of my room, they knew like my gait somehow, and I was very like surprised. I'm like, they're so intelligent. They're like, they can hear or sense like that I'm the one that's walking, not my parents, like not someone else that's not like their primary caretaker. Like they know it's me, and they'll get out of their hidey cages. And when someone else does that, like they won't do that. They're still, roaming around. But with me, they'll come out, they'll make the little squeaky noises, and they're happy to see you. So it's really rewarding actually to be a guinea pig, CAVY caretaker, because they get to know you, and they all have their different personalities, so you get to know them as well.
Well, I to your point, I did read among the notes and things that you'd given me that they can be very assertive if they want something, or if their lettuce is wilty.
That's true. Yeah, you know how veggies sometimes come in a plastic, covering. If I'm like doing anything with plastic, now they'll be like, "Is that lettuce?" And then when I started putting my lettuce in like containers, they also know that click of a container, so they'll also be like, "Is that is that for me?" So it's and they can. I had one. Both of them at the same time kind of get up on their cage and just start squeaking at me, like, look at me.
Yeah, one of mine every morning, she's up on the side, front paws up when I get my second cup of coffee. They get a treat at that time. And so I'm pouring the coffee and I hear the noise and I look over and one of mine, she puts her paws up to say,
they've trained
you need to get
well.
over here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you said squeaking, wheeling. I mean, I haven't heard them talk. Of course, we're in sort of an unusual situation for them, but they're doing very well with it.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. Well, and a couple of other things just about caretaking and vet care. Can we talk a little bit about that? Because you need to clip their nails. I believe their teeth can grow very long if not checked. So can you tell me about special needs? Arthritis, you mentioned that too.
Yes, I want to pick up my little
Yeah,
Fisher.
oh,
Sure.
very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
He has, now that he's an elderly piggy, he has some arthritis on his arms. And so he's not moving as much. So that's why it's always nice. It's always good to go to a vet and get them checked out, get the yearly checkup, and then also be monitoring their weight, which is really important. Because they're really good at hiding their pain or hiding that they're hurting. And so monitoring their weight really tells you how much they've changed. And so that's how I noticed that Fisher was just like eating a bit less or wasn't like something was up. And it was that he was just having a little bit more pain. And they both now have, heart medicine and arthritis medication. And with that, they're doing a lot better. But yeah, that's how you monitor your pet, just like any other, to see how they're doing. It's just that with guinea pigs, they are really good at hiding their pains.
Okay. Well, and I'm just noticing that, he?
This is Fisher, so that's a he.
Yeah. Okay, so Fisher just likes sitting in your lap.
Yes.
And now is there a certain way that you pet them that they like
he
or don't
likes like on his side.
Okay.
He doesn't quite like on his face. Right here. Well, actually, he's doing fine right now. But he'll tell me. He'll push up his his face.
All right.
And I have a little brush that he likes getting brushed. He usually starts like, I don't know if it's a purr or if that's what it would be, right? But he'll make a little noise. So he does tell you that he's enjoying himself. And then Allegro is really a curious piggy. So she does like getting being held, but she also likes like roaming around. Like I let them free roam at times because she's very curious. So she does like going up and down and just looking. She's curious. And then she'll kind of tell me when it's time she wants to go back in her cage, because she'll just find like a hidey place. But she does like roaming around for a bit and stretching out her legs. She was actually also from like a hoarding situation a while back. And so that's why she has, she's always been a bit smaller than usual. And then her ears like were bitten off by like a chicken. Her eyes too, but she's been doing great afterwards. She grew more than they even expected her to grow. And she's really, I always call her like a little rebel because of her hair. Like it's just like, and just her curiosity.
Yes. Well, so we've got multicolor. I mean, I've been reading there are different types of guinea pigs. And is there a particular type or breed that she is?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up.
Okay, yeah.
So this type is actually called an Abyssinian.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of have that like crazy, wild, sticky, yuppie hair. And we see them sometimes. I'm not a breed expert by any means, but I do know that because one of mine is as well.
All right, cool.
But there are several different breeds.
Yeah.
There are longer haired ones as well, which if you are adopting one of those, you need to think about grooming as well, because just like any long haired pet, if they have lots of hair, it can get stuff caught in it, and so brushing is something that you would need to consider for them. For your short-haired guinea pigs, sometimes they enjoy brushing, but it's not quite as necessary.
Okay.
But yeah, there's lots of different colors. There are many different looks to guinea pigs, so you can find one that you like.
Well, Talia, when people come to the shelter and they are specifically looking for a guinea pig, and how do you guide them about adopting?
Yeah, so something I really love about where we work is our staff has gotten really passionate about small animals. And I think that's something that's kind of just misunderstood in general. When people think of pets, they think a cat or a dog, but small animals have so much personality. They have so much to offer. So when you come into the shelter and you say, hey, I'm thinking about a guinea pig, whichever staff member you talk to is probably going to be equally passionate about guinea pigs as we are,
Yes.
which is awesome. And we have a lot of
Yes.
great educational materials. You can go in, you can see all the adoptable guinea pigs and then see our setups as well, which I think that visual is great because you can kind of see, oh, how would that fit into my home?
Yeah.
You know, where am I going to put that hidey hut? Where is that pen going to live? And get just a really good idea of how that's going to work for you and what you need to know about, because there is a lot kind of, as we've discussed, you know, there's a lot of little bits and pieces to figure out before you go about adopting.
Do they mix well with other pets?
So it is something to consider because they are prey animals. Most of your other common pets like cats and dogs are predator, or cats are both predator and prey. So it actually can be very stressful if they can smell each other. Even your kind of confident and friendly guinea pigs, if they smell a predator smell, that can be really scary. So when people have different species in the same home, we actually really want them to have a setup for the guinea pigs that is away from the dogs or the cats that might live there, because you know, even if you have a very nice dog or a very kind of calm cat, just their smell in the room can be stressful for the guinea pig. And of course, if they are prey, interested in catching the prey, then it can be quite risky. So that is a really good consideration. If you're considering adopting guinea pigs as other animals, you need to have that separate setup.
Well, that's a really good thought to close on. Any just final thoughts about why guinea pigs are so lovable?
I can say that my guinea pigs have been just such a rewarding experience for me. Just like they were my first pet as well. I do have a cat as well, and they actually get along. And I'm able to support small businesses, for example. Like all my fleece is from other guinea pig owners that just started a business, and they have like quality materials, quality fleece, quality cage setups. There's a lot of community around with CAVY caretaking, online forums that you can show pictures, and everyone's very passionate and loving towards not just their guinea pig but others, and so it's just been a rewarding experience as my first pet that I've had now for 7 years. I feel like I've grown up with them and I've gotten to know them, and so I always say to anyone that's looking for a pet, like, have you thought about guinea pigs?
Well, thank you. That's just a thank you much for that closing thought. Really appreciate all of your time, all of your wisdom, and for rescuing them as well. Thank you for that. I hope you have enjoyed this very special episode of Pet Info Cafe. For more information about Cavies and other episodes, you may visit my website, petinfocafe.com.